How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully, you're staying dry. We've got all kinds of crazy storms moving around everywhere, don't we? Kind of moved out of here today, but it looks like they're happening all over the place. So, anyway, we can always use the rain, I suppose. Most places, anyway, especially California. Man, they've been having so many problems with the fires. So tonight, what are we breaking tonight? A full-size Gold Rush football helmet, a case of Elements football, and a half case of Allen and Ginter baseball. So we've got plenty of stuff to keep us busy this evening. But before we get started ripping into boxes and packs, we have some info to go over. First up there, a note about my feedback. That's just to let you guys know I automated that actually a couple years ago, several years ago. And that is just so that you don't ever have to wait on me. So as soon as you leave positive feedback for me, you're going to instantly get it in return. And of course, the second and most important part of that message there is to say thank you to everyone. I appreciate each and every one of you who bids and breaks and hangs out with me. And while I'm thinking about it, I know that you guys some of you have told me in the past that when the spreadsheet information goes up, if you're on youtube.com versus in the app or something, sometimes it looks blurry to you. And I mean to say this at the front and I forget, but what I have been told is if you just simply refresh the page, that it takes care of that. Just FYI. What we're looking at right now, these are breaks that are already listed on eBay that we'll be breaking over the course of the next 5 days. So Wednesday night, tomorrow night, we're going to start earlier than we normally do. We're going to start at 9:30 because you know what? We're going to be breaking for a while tomorrow night. We will first do a half case of Leaf autograph football jerseys. That will be followed up by a full case of Clearly Authentic baseball, which comes out tomorrow. And that'll be followed by 6 boxes, which is a third of a case of Donruss football, which also comes out tomorrow. You know, a third of a case doesn't sound like a lot, I realize, but Panini just puts a weird number of boxes in these cases, okay? There are going to be almost 1,500 cards in that break, so it's actually going to be a massive break. It just sounds like it's not much because it's a third of a case, but really it is. On Thursday night, we're going to break another case of Elements, which we're going to break one of those tonight here in a few minutes. We will also break a second case of Clearly Authentic on Thursday night, and we'll break another full case of Chrome baseball. On Friday, we'll break a single Game Day Greats autographed football jersey. Leaf Flash, if it comes out. I'm getting a little nervous about Leaf Flash because I haven't seen the tracking for it yet, and it should be shipping tomorrow, and they haven't charged my card for it yet. I'm getting a little nervous about Leaf Flash. So basically it will work like this. If for some reason they've moved the date and haven't told anybody, if it doesn't show up on Friday, of course I will hopefully know by then when it is going to show up, and we'll just reschedule the break for that night if that happens. But I probably won't know for sure what's going on until tomorrow at the earliest. Also a full case of certified football on Friday. On Saturday, another half case of the Leaf football jerseys, a second case of Leaf Flash, provided it comes out on Friday, a full case of Noir basketball, and another third case of Donruss football. On Sunday, we're also going to start early, 9:30 on Sunday night as well. We'll break another case of Elements. I got my hands on another case of Archive Signature Series Active Player Edition, and that should be arriving, I believe, tomorrow. So we're going to break it on Sunday, and then we'll break a little more Allen and Ginter on Sunday night as well. But for tonight, here's what we have on tap. Our full-size autograph football helmet will break first, Elements football second, and Allen and Ginter half case will break third. So as you see there's a couple of different shipping dates listed. That's because the free shipping things generally go out on a slightly different schedule. So I'm projecting that the football helmet will get out the door on or about Monday the 13th. And our paid shipping breaks tonight, which are Elements and Allen and Ginter, I'm projecting to get out the door roughly on Saturday. Always, guys, it's give or take a day. So sometimes if things are going well, I can get stuff out faster. Of course I will. And sometimes things might go off the rails a little. It could slide to a day later, but I do my best, of course, to try to hit the dates that you see there. The last piece of information here, if your team isn't pulled in one of the breaks and you don't hit anything at all, no base cards, no anything, You are entitled to a consolation used trading card. It can be from any year or any series. I track that stuff for a rolling 90-day period. Typically what happens if you're in one of the free breaks, like the helmet tonight, I'm just going to hang on to those until you next have a package shipping where you have pulled a card or an item. And then I'll gather up all the cards you're due over those past 90 days and I'll ship them off with that package. If you don't want to wait for that and you would like to have it sent sooner, just in a plain white envelope with a stamp, shoot me a message over on eBay, let me know, and I'll get you taken care of. If you're in one of the paid shipping breaks tonight, Allen and Genter, no worries about consolation cards. Everybody's going to pull plenty of cards in there. In Elements, if you happen to get skunked, because it is a paid shipping break, any consolation card or cards you are due will ship with the rest of the break on that one. So first up tonight is the 2018 Gold Rush Series 2 autographed full-size football helmet, break number 24. Everything that we're opening tonight ended tonight on eBay Tuesday night, August the 7th. And of course, a format you're familiar with, which is our team names are on the left. Winning bidders are there across from it on the right-hand side. Have one orphan team that didn't get a forever home tonight. That's the Cincinnati Bengals. And it's just noted there as no bids buyback. So if it were to happen to be a Bengals helmet, it would just hang here with me. Otherwise, it's going to go to one of you guys. One final note, we have 2 extra categories, Penn State linebackers, Heisman Trophy winners. Those are both multi-signed helmets that are possibilities to pull in this break. And if we should pull one, it would go, of course, to its respective bidding position. Last but not least, I am taking autofocus off. I'm putting manual focus in play. That is going to make the background go ever so slightly out of focus. But that's okay, because we like to look at stuff up close anyway, right? Now in chat, who do we have in chat tonight? I see, I'm trying to show you the seal there. We have Thomas Chamberlain and Greg and Jay Allen, who caught me making a listing mistake tonight. You know, I was telling you guys about that last night, that sometimes all I have to do is just list one thing wrong, and it will then just mentally, I just go right into that group. So like I accidentally, instead of listing the Tampa Bay Rays, I listed Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So then the next thing you know, there I go, type in, oh, Tennessee Titans, and, you know, so on and so forth. But oh, guess what? It was a baseball break. So yeah, that's always a fun thing. So anyway, and Let's Nerd Out is here, and Bobby B says he's getting a runaround about Leaf Flash too. So that's never a good sign, is it? Never a good sign when that happens. Well, I should know something by tomorrow, because if Brian hasn't shipped it by tomorrow, that means I wouldn't be getting it on Friday no matter what. So we have a JSA authentication for, guess what? Oh yeah, how about that? Nice little Carolina Panthers full-size helmet signed by, you got it, Christian McCaffrey. And there's your JSA authentication sticker on the back that matches your JSA authentication card. We'll take one more look at the signature there for Mr. Christian McCaffrey and the Carolina Panthers with a nice hit tonight. I think I did. Had the tripod going a little crazy there for a second, but now I think we got it. Now I think we got it straightened out. Stacy, you said that every time you break with me, you pick a weird team. And the last time it was the Panthers, they didn't hit. And now you didn't pick the Panthers this time, and they did. Oh, I'm sorry. John, you are here for Allen and Genter. You've probably got about 20 minutes or so, and we'll be rolling into Allen and Genter. And Let's Nerd Out has got the Titans in Elements. Greg, yes, I do know it is the Penn State linebackers. I thought I said Penn State linebackers there on the spreadsheet. You know, you can't always fit everything in the title on eBay. They give you a limited amount of space. So sometimes on eBay, you know, I may abbreviate something or something along those lines, but I'm pretty sure, I thought I said in the spreadsheet there, Penn State linebackers, and I thought I said that in the description, but maybe I didn't. If I didn't, I apologize for that. Oh, Thomas, I see you saying you would have picked up that bingle spot. I am so sorry, man. I did not even see that until just now. So obviously that already sailed past us, but of course Bingles didn't hit on this one anyway. Geo is in the house, and so is Fishman, and so is Toby. Higher Confections is here. Midway Monster. We got a lot of folks in chat tonight. Toby is here. Elements is breaking right now, Toby, so no, it is not last tonight. So once again, if you guys did not see this earlier, for anybody who might have jumped in late, here's the information you need to know. Shipping for Elements and Allen & Ginter, the two that are coming up, our paid shipping breaks, I'm projecting to be Saturday. And if I can get it to you faster than Saturday, of course I will. And if you get skunked in Elements, don't pull any cards in here. Whatever consolation cards you're due will go out with the rest of the break, since it is a paid shipping break. This is 12 boxes of 2018 Panini Elements football. It's a full case break, break number 4. And of course it also ended tonight, Tuesday night, August the 7th. And team names are there on the left. Winning bidders are across from it on the right-hand side. And yeah, Greg, I don't really think I have the listing wrong necessarily. I think, again, it's one of those situations where I can't fit everything in the title, you know. So, like, I can't type out Penn State linebackers in the title because there's not enough spaces. You know, eBay limits you on the amount of characters that you can put into a title. So I believe, you know, that I just probably put Penn linebackers or something like that, and then in the description should have said Penn State linebackers, and I put in the other word. But I think hopefully we all know what we're talking about, the same thing there. But sometimes eBay just doesn't give you enough space to say everything that you want to say in those titles. But honestly, it's a lot more than it used to be. Gosh, they used to not even give you that much space, so it was crazy. They used to give you about half that. I was happy when they expanded it. They need to expand it again, though, huh? Okay, so as you can see, we have all of our boxes have come out here. We had 12 boxes in this case. There's going to be one pack in each box. Each pack is going to have in it a few little hits waiting for us to find. Should be a couple of autographs and a memorabilia card. The memorabilia cards in here are all going to be framed. And sometimes that frame can have some dents and dings on it. Sometimes it might have a little bit of the finish chipping off or something like that. So they haven't looked... well, I thought, there for a minute, I thought we had no pack. I was about to freak out. I opened it up and there was no pack, but it had just sunk down into the box. Okay, whew. Anyway, those frames are better than they used to be. You know, they've used them before in the Lux products and stuff. And see, it looked like that. There's like, it looks, you know. And the Lux frames were always in a lot worse shape than these have been in. But they do sometimes have some little imperfections. As for our autographs, one of them will be on a metal card. And the second one will be on a regular card. Well, it's a regular card and has an entrapped piece of metal or an entrapped piece of acetate that has been signed. That'll make more sense when you see it. There's all these packs have fallen down through here for some reason. The case hit is usually entrapped acetate, and it's usually a veteran player. Not so much of a rookie on that one. Gio, I don't know if you won the helmet. Did you have the Panthers tonight? I can't remember who has what, guys. You know I am the worst about trying to retain all those. There's always so many spots I look at every night, and I'm usually multitasking, you know, and filling in the spreadsheet and answering questions and invoicing all kind of simultaneously. So I don't retain a lot of that. But if you had the Panthers tonight, then yeah, Gio, that would be, you know, it was a nice Christian McCaffrey coming out for Carolina. Toby, you need some browns in Elements. I need the packs to not be all like sunk into the bottom of the box on all these. Like, what is going on with this case? I don't know. Oh, and someone said, who said a minute ago? Someone said, Stacy maybe, said that you saw an Aaron Rodgers to 5 come out tonight. That was probably the case hit, I'm guessing. And so Ben Rudd's looking for another Aaron Rodgers to 5. He's like, hey, there's still 4 more to go. Let's find it. Gio, again, I'm sorry, I don't know if you won the helmet. If you had the Carolina Panthers tonight, you won the helmet. Do you remember if you won the Carolina Panthers tonight? Because that would be the way to know. Otherwise, you know, when we finish up this break, if you can't remember which spots you have, which happens to all of us at some time or another, I can certainly put the spreadsheet back up there for you. But I just can't do it right this second because, of course, we already have boxes and things open and packs open and all that. So, you know, I can't switch away from this view right now, but I can certainly go back there and check it out for you after we do Elements here. So Jimmy G is coming out first, and it's a 1 of 1. So I like when we start off things with a 1 of 1. So that makes me happy. And I know that it's just a base card, but you know what? It's still 1 of 1, whether it's a base card or not. So I like it. I think it's good luck. We had a bunch of 1 of 1s last night, too, in various breaks. Number to 75, we had a little Phillip Rivers there for the Chargers. Our first framed relic, which I have the wrong size sleeve out for, so let's try that again. Let's rewind. Get the correct size sleeve on the table, and now we'll try that again. How about that? It is Mike White for the Dallas Cowboys. That is to 125. For the Packers, I've got Panthers on the brain. We're talking about that helmet, and I've got them on the brain. It is Marquez Valdez-Scantling for the Packers to 125 framed relic. Bobby, I'm assuming you've got the Redskins tonight. There's your Darius Geis, if you do, coming out early, so you don't have to sweat it out, man. There is your man coming out, number 299. And someone asked for some Browns, right? Well, here's Nick Chubb to get things started. Getting things rolling for the Cleveland Browns, numbered to 299. Oh, Bobby, you do not have the Redskins tonight. What happened, man? Did you pick up another team? You got the Bills tonight. Okay. All right. We got to rework our mojo for you then, don't we? There is DJ Chark to 199 on a metal card for the Jags. We're going to follow that up with a hit for the Colts with Doris Fountain. And the Colts. Nice. Oh, I just saw Midway Monster that you said all the packs that were falling through to the bottom of the boxes were because they were heavy with hits. That's pretty good. I like that, man. I just saw that. I don't know how I missed that while ago. But I did. But I hope you're right. I hope that's exactly what we're in for tonight. Leonard Fournette and the Jags to 75. That is followed by Khalil Mack to 75 for the Raiders. A dual relic coming out for the Bears. It is Mitch Trubisky and Jay Cutler. Stacy, you're looking for Deshaun Watson tonight. Okay, this is numbered to 75 on that dual relic. I'll see if I can find you a Deshaun Watson tonight. I would like to, but you never know what's going to be in here. Radioactive rookie Hayden Hurst and the Ravens to 90. Is that to 99? Yeah. Yeah, to straight up 99 on the framed relic. Mike White is going to be your friend if you have the Cowboys tonight, because here he is again. This one is numbered to 350. And why stop at 1 or even 2 if you can keep pulling Mike White? Here's another one. Thank you, Panini, for not randomizing. That is also numbered to 350. So if you have the Dallas Cowboys, you've got lots and lots of Mike White. Now here's a man I have been waiting to see come out of here. Calvin Ridley to 99 for the Falcons. I like Calvin Ridley. I think he's going to play well. I'm glad to see him come out for Atlanta. Christian Kirk brings us a nice hit for the Arizona Cardinals. And we got, ooh, this one feels really heavy. This one feels heavier than any of the other ones that I've picked up. So there's something kind of interesting, I think, going on in here. Maybe not, but it feels like there is. But I don't know if there really is or not. Maybe it's just, maybe I'm just imagining things. We'll find out in a minute. Kareem Hunt to 75, Kansas City Chiefs. And next up, Adam Thielen to 75 for the Vikings. Here comes a framed Josh Allen for the Buffalo Bills. That is numbered to 99. Yeah, I guess it just felt heavier for no apparent reason because there's not anything extra in it. Marquez Valdez Scantling, again, for the Packers. This one to 350. Stacy, you have the Calvin Ridley Gold to 25. That is, in my opinion, that's an awesome hit. Of course, we'll have to wait and see how he plays, you know, how his skills translate to the NFL. But from where I sit today, I think that's a good hit. Here is a framed relic for the Texans. It's Kiki to 125. Ronald Jones for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I like these metal cards. They are pretty awesome. That is numbered to 199. We're going to get the Bengals involved. This is Mark Walton. You do have some chipping down there on that lower right, maybe a little in the upper corners as well. It is numbered to 350. And honestly, most of the cards like this that have the entrapped piece of metal or piece of acetate in them often are going to have imperfect edges and corners. They're just coming out of the boxes that way, you know, which I'm sure many of you are probably familiar. That happens quite often. Brett Kiesel for my Pittsburgh Steelers. Fear the Beard, baby. That is to 150. Oh, Mike, you have Ridley tonight in the break. You have the Falcons. Well, that is a nice hit for you, I think. So we'll see how he does on the field, but I don't know. I like him. Russell Wilson to 75 for the Seahawks. Lamar Jackson, why couldn't that have been signed? That is numbered to 99 for the Ravens, but at least you have a nice 3-color patch, but I would prefer to have seen that signed, and I'm sure if you have the Ravens, you're singing the same thing. Yeah, I preferred that to be signed. Instead, you're going to get a Jaleel Scott signature if you are the Ravens tonight, also to 350. Nice hit coming up for the Broncos with Cortland Sutton. That is also numbered to 50. It's the gold version. Anytime you see that pretty gold, it's going to be 50 or lower. I'm trying to keep this one finger kind of out of the way. I know it's like causing me to open things kind of weirdly and whatever, but I split it open today and I don't even know on what. Something, I guess, down in the dishwater or something, and I got a little, I don't know, something cut it open there earlier, but I had a Band-Aid on, but then that seemed to make it worse if I was trying to do this, so as long as we're not bleeding, we're going to keep going. This is numbered to 25, Adam Thielen for the Vikings. Metal Moments, these usually come out about 1 per case. This one is Peyton Manning. It is number 27 of 50. Well, you know, Marquez Valdez Scantling, I hope the kid plays well because you've got about 1,000 relics and signatures of him. That one is to 125. Was he one of the guys that Aaron Rodgers lit up today? You know, Aaron Rodgers just lit into his rookie receivers today at the end of practice. There were a couple of them that he said were cool or good or playing well or however you want to say it. And the rest of them, he was basically, you know, calling them out for lack of effort and a number of other things. So, wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that. Kyle Lauletta for the Giants to 125. You knew we weren't going to get out of here without finding Kalen Ballage for the Dolphins, right? And that is numbered to 350. Nice little entrapped metal card there for the Dolphins. Josh Rosen. Hey, Cardinals. You already have a nice Christian Kirk. You've got Josh Rosen coming. Little imperfection on that upper left corner, but nothing too outrageous. And a reasonably low numbered hit. It's to 99. Here comes Ito Smith. Falcons are on fire tonight. Calvin Ridley first and Ito Smith now to 199. Dan Bailey to 99 for the Cowboys, who already have a whole truckload of Mike White waiting for them. And then for the Seahawks to 75, it is Russell Wilson. We have a relic for Mason Rudolph and the Steelers, numbered to 99. Should be able to see him in action Thursday night. I guess all the quarterbacks other than Ben, they'll probably be in action Thursday night against the Eagles. I don't think I get the game anywhere here, though. I don't think I have any way to watch it. Kyle Lauletta, Giants, numbered to 350. Mark Walton, Bengals, to 199. You got to love the fact that Mark Walton uses all of the available space. Like, he's the exact opposite of Baker Mayfield, who has a little tiny signature and always leaves tons of white space. Mark Walton takes up every available inch anytime he signs anything. You got to kind of respect that, though, right? Larry Fitzgerald to 75, Cardinals. Naheem Hines for the Colts to 125. He's another one that's been coming out pretty frequently. Royce Freeman and the Broncos. Royce is numbered to 125. A little bit of imperfections I see on particularly that corner on the back, but nothing too bad, but definitely not perfect anyway. Speaking of Naheem Hines, here he is again, but this time you have a signature to 199, Colts. We have Last Box Mojo coming up. All right, collectively we have to work our mojo and hope we pull some mighty fire out of here. There's Troy Aikman to 50 for our base card. Jaleel Scott Relic, Ravens to 125. Patriots, you thought you were going to get skunked, didn't you? But at the last minute, we pull out a Sony Michel for you. And Sony Michel is to 299. You know what we haven't seen? Our neon signature case hit. So you know what's probably on the other side of that redemption? Our neon signature case hit. Yeah. So it's probably going to be a veteran player. And it's probably going to be pretty low numbered. And we're going to flip it over and find out here in 1 second. Yeah, you're right. Ben Rod's like, hey, we don't have to wait to see the redemption. I know, they usually come out early, and then I am just terrible, and I flip them over, and I save them till the very end of the break always. This one came out at the end of the break, so no waiting indeed. It is Juju Smith-Schuster steel signatures. So we didn't get a neon signature in here, which normally we do. Normally that's a case hit, but we didn't get one tonight for whatever strange reason. I guess Maybe our 1 of 1 Jimmy Garoppolo, is that the reason we didn't get the other? I don't know. It seems kind of, that seems kind of like a bad trade-off. I mean, I like the 1 of 1, but hey, where's our neon signature, you know? I guess it technically, maybe it's not technically guaranteed, but I kind of thought, I mean, we've pulled one out of every other case, but oh well, what are you going to do? That's Panini for you. Sometimes you get extra, sometimes you don't get as much. And we did have a case earlier this week, or was it last week, where we had 2 of those, 2 neon signatures in a case. So, like I said, it's all or nothing. Sometimes you get extra, sometimes you don't get as much as you're expecting. But I am a little bummed, although I'm glad this is Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean, that's pretty cool, but still. Card number 85. And I just scrolled right past it. It's going to be numbered to 150. You saw it there, right? Yeah, right there. I didn't really highlight it, but right there it is. To 150 for the Steelers. So, we have to recap here. Midway Monster, I am not sure what all came out for the Bears, but we are getting ready to recap. So, if you hang tight for a minute, we're going to look back through everything other than our base. You know, we're not going to look back through the base except for the 1 of 1, but everything else we will. So we have a redemption for Juju Smith-Schuster and the Steelers. It will be numbered to 150. We had a nice little 1 of 1 for the 49ers with Jimmy G. Next, we're going to take a look at our relics, or what the ones that are stacked separately anyway. I'm not going to read off the numbers again and all that jazz. We're just going to flip through them. You're going to get one more look at them in case you jumped in late or whatever the case might be. Maybe you just want to look at it a second time. You never know when somebody comes and joins. So there's your Bears relic, the Jay Cutler and Mitch Trubisky to 75. I think that's the one you were asking about, right? Well, Bobby B, Metal Moments is a case hit for sure, but so too is Neon Signatures. I mean, normally you get Neon Signatures 1 per case, so it's just unusual to have a case where there is no neon signatures. I guess you're saying you want to see Metal Moments again. I can get that one. I just never recap it, honestly. I mean, I think I noted when we saw it that it was a case hit, but I never really recap it because they're never really that low numbered. But I guess, you know, it's number 27 of 50. But there it is for those who are interested in it. There it is. But we are, yes, missing, unfortunately, our neon signature tonight, which does typically come out at 1 per case, but we got none per case tonight. And yes, again, for those of you, if you got skunked in this break, of course, we always hope that that doesn't happen, especially on a case. You know, you always hope that the hits will be reasonably appropriated in there by team, but sometimes they are not. So if you happen to get skunked in this break, you are still going to get your consolation cards. They're going to be mailed out with the rest of the break. And so you can look for those to head out the door and head your way on the same schedule as all of the rest of the cards from tonight, of course. Before we start into Allen and Genter, I need to put the spreadsheet back up so that we can take a look at, we've got to backtrack a little bit here. Someone wants to see the spreadsheet for the helmets again. So here again is the spreadsheet for the full-size football helmet. Again, we've already opened this, but someone missed the spreadsheet earlier and wanted to take another look at it. So there is the spreadsheet for the helmet and the break that we completed to start things off tonight. Now, let's get, let me switch your view back so I can get us set back up for our next break, which is going to be Allen and Genter. All right, here we go. So, anybody that missed this before, Saturday is your projected shipping date for Elements and Allen and Genter. The helmet projected for Monday night. If you got skunked on the helmet, your consolation card typically will be held and shipped with your next package. If you want that done differently, you just let me know. We'll get it worked out. If you got skunked in elements, that is a paid shipping break, and any consolation card or cards you are due are going to ship with the rest of the break. And Allen and Ginter, which is what is upcoming. Oh, there's a zillion cards. Nobody's going to go home empty-handed out of Allen and Ginter. So this is 6 boxes of 2018 Allen & Ginter baseball. It's a half case break. It is break number 6. And it is the back half of a case that we started, I don't know when, but recently, sometime in the last week or so anyway. And same as before, you're going to see, of course, your team names there on the left-hand side, and the winning bidders are across from it on the right-hand side. A few extra categories in here. There's non-baseball celebrity. That is all of the people who are other athletes and poker players and radio personalities and comedians, all that stuff. All the non-baseball athletes and celebrities go to non-baseball celebrity bidding category. Then there's another bidding category that comprises beaches and moons and nature and weather. So anything related to one of those is going to go to that category. There was a category for baseball equipment, baseball superstitions, and stadiums. Any cards we pull for that will go to that category. Then that leaves us with non-baseball, non-celebrity minis. So that's stuff like flags of lost nations and the postage stamps and the folio of fears and so on and so forth, the world's hottest peppers, etc. In the description for each of those categories that are not a team, it tells you more specifically what that category includes. But that was just kind of a brief rundown so that everybody's on the same page. All right, so let me get our Allen and Ginter out of its case here. Of course, again, this is one that we started sometime recently. And when we did, at that point in time, we would have, all of these are numbered, I'm just setting them out probably on the opposite end, but we would have pulled out all of our boxes. Where is one? Oh. So when we started this case, all the boxes came out, and we numbered them all on the end, and then used random.org to decide for us which 6 we opened the first night, and which 6 were left for the break tonight. So that's generally how we do it. If I start a case and we're not going to finish the case in the same night that it started, that's usually how I do it. So that's why they're numbered on the end. And yeah, I guess that's about it for that. Each one of our boxes should have 3 hits in it. And in Allen and Ginter, a hit can be an autograph card, it can be a relic, it can be a rip card, a printing plate, or a booklet. Any and all of the above are considered hits. We're going to find 3 of those in some combination in each box. If I am remembering correctly, I don't think that we had the hot box in the first half of this case, which honestly, the hot box is a little boring this year, but it is all of the base cards with a glossy finish. And we didn't, to the best of my memory, we did not hit it in the first half, so I think it's probably somewhere in this half. It's an Aaron Judge box topper. Box toppers can be this size, or what I call affectionately the weird size. And the weird size is, you know, the cards used to be that size many moons ago, like I don't even know how many when, but back when they would have originally been making Allen and Ginter and that sort of thing. So some of the box toppers are that original weird card size, and the others are what you just saw right there. Bobby B, you got your Phillies tonight. Excellent. And this, by the way, is our hot box, because I can already see that it's got a glossy finish on our base cards. I can also see that that interesting little cut on the end of my finger is going to make it a pain in the rear to get all these packs open tonight. So yuck. Yuck to that. Dave, I believe we had a rip card in the first half, but you know there are normally 2 per case, so I believe we should have another one coming. That has been the norm, is that there are 2 per case, and I am fairly certain we had one in the first half. Could not tell you who it was, but I believe we did have one. If Greg's on here, he might remember. He's really good about remembering. Greg, are you still on? Do you remember who the rip card was in the first half of this case by any chance? He's way better at remembering that stuff than I am. Partially because I sort and ship so much in addition to the breaking. I just see so many cards in any given week. I don't trust my memory to tell you which ones came specifically out of which break as much as anything else. All right, we're going to stop and take a look at what we have so far. Mainly because, yeah, I want to see what's in here. I get anxious like you guys do. So again, this is our hot box. So all of the base cards that you see going by are the glossy finish. And then a little black border mini Hank Aaron to get things started. This goes to the beaches, moons, and weather category. Another black border mini. That one's Charlie Blackmon for the Rockies. And we have our first hit of the night. It's Tommy Pham for the Cardinals. I was a little bit surprised that they traded him. And here is a mini postage required. So that goes to the non-celebrity, non-baseball minis category. It's a mouthful, I realize. Beaches goes to the beaches, moon, weather. I'm not going to announce those every single time, of course, but just as we're getting started, the first ones we see of everything, that's baseball equipment, which is also, of course, stadiums and superstitions. There was a black border mini for the Phillies. Baseball superstitions goes again to equipment and whatever else I said went with that. What else did I say went with equipment? Stadiums. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, stadiums. That's it. And let me get myself a slightly different organization going over here. All right. Just trying to make sure I've got everything where I can find it in case someone has a question about something as it goes by. Oh yeah, I forgot we were going to find these. I always forget about these. This is the home run challenge. This particular one is for the Rays. We're going to find one of those per box. It works like this. If that is your card, when it shows up, there's a little silver box on the back that you scratch off. And that will give you a code. You go to the website listed on the card, you enter that code, and then it will give you an opportunity to choose a game where you believe the player on the front of the card will hit a home run. And if the player does hit a home run in the game that you choose, they send you a special card, which is basically a Topps Now card, I believe, of the player. And you also get entered into something like a drawing to go to the home run derby or to go to the All-Star game or something like that. But that's kind of the way it works. And if you hit it, it's fun. I mean, and I think those Topps Now cards that you get actually do pretty well if you're looking to resell them. Which, of course, not everybody does. Some people, you got to keep it for yourself, but... yeah, tomorrow night I'm going to have to figure out a way to work around that finger because it makes it a little hard to open, harder, slower, I guess, to open the packs without using that finger. But if I use it, I'm afraid I'll get it all messed up, and we don't want to have blood on our cards now, do we? So so I wonder if I can do it right-handed. I kind of doubt it. Oh yeah, that's worse. That's way worse. Oh yeah, we'll just stick to left-handed and not use that finger. It's interesting, isn't it? How sometimes you can do things left-handed, sometimes you do things right-handed, sometimes you can do things with either hand, but you can't do everything with both hands. I'm a little of both. I do a lot of things left-handed. I do some things right-handed. And there's a handful of things I can do either way. But obviously opening packs, yeah. Trying to do that right-handed doesn't seem to work out real well. Feels very unnatural. Years of habit, I suppose. Well, our minis are trying to jump ship there. So Alonso for the Indians and Zach Granite for the Twins are both there. Greg must not still be on, so he wasn't able to answer our question about the rip card. But I do think we just found, I think we found one in the first half, which should mean realistically we should find another in the back half. A Travis Shaw relic for the Brewers. Keep in mind the inserts for this series, even though we're in the hot box, like the inserts like this, those are not glossy. It is only your base cards that come out glossy in the hot box, not the inserts. I don't remember if I said that before or not, so just in case I didn't, now we're all on the same page. I liked it was it last year or was it year before last? I think it was last year maybe, where the hot box was the hollow foil, which I thought was pretty cool. I actually kind of prefer that to just the glossy finish. Glossy finish is kind of a little bit boring in comparison to that, I guess. For me, anyway. Thought the hollow foil was very nice last year. But, you know, they're not going to do the same thing 2 years in a row. They never do. So. Oh, Joey Votto and my Cincinnati Reds. Nice. I love Joey Votto. So there's a piece of the baseball bat. So out of our first box, all three of our hits are relics. One baseball bat and a couple of jersey relics. And another Beaches Moons type deal there. So I guess after this, I've got maybe one case left of Allen and Ginter, I think. So we're closing in on Allen and Ginter, wrapping it up, but we still have a little ways to go. And Archives got moved, by the way. So we'll probably put in some more Allen and Ginter next week where Archives would have gone. The Archives was due to come out on Wednesday, and the updated top schedule came out today. Or maybe it came out before today, but I just got it today in my email, and they moved it. It's Chris Bryant box loader for the Cubs. And it's another one of those they didn't even give us a date on like they did with Inception at the first of the year. So it's not like they moved it and then they gave us a date. No, it just says to be determined in September. So I don't know what might be going on with Archives, but whatever it is, they don't have a set date for it anymore. So that definitely frees up a little space where we would have been breaking a lot of Archives in the next week or 10 days. Bobby, it was 3 relics in the first box. It was our hot box, and it was Joey Votto and something. You know how I am with remembering our hits. It was a Joey Votto piece of the baseball bat, a couple of relics. Could not tell you who they were for, though. But, of course, you know, Bobby, I'll recap it, so. But so I am a bit bummed, though, about Archives being moved, because I was looking forward to Archives. I always enjoy it. And I was surprised that they didn't give us any date. I always hate when it just comes up as those to be determined things. Oh, man, that means something is way off the rails when they don't give you a new release date. But Topps has kind of had more problems in that regard this year than I think they usually do. Or maybe I just feel that way because Inception was so delayed. Oh, and I think I told you earlier, but in case I didn't, I did manage to find another semi-reasonably priced box of Archive Signature Series Active Player Edition. I'm certainly not going to go so far as to say it was reasonably priced, because really it wasn't. But, but it was about $100 lower than the other stuff I'd been getting offered recently, so I picked it up. It's on the way. Should be here tomorrow. We'll break it over the weekend. Because I was going to break Greatest Hits, all the Leaf Greatest Hits over the weekend, but then Bobby kind of talked me out of it. You can blame Bobby for that, because I'm just kidding, Bobby. But he basically made the case that I shouldn't list it as random team breaks, which is what I had intended to do. And if I'm going to list it as team breaks with tiered bidding, I'm going to have to tear apart the checklist and look at a whole bunch more info to do that. So that did not, in fact, get listed for Sunday as originally advertised. So we'll break that later in the week. Bobby says, it's all right. I'm always getting blamed. What else you getting blamed for, Bobby? I was just giving you some grief, man. I mean, I had gone back and forth about how I wanted to do it, as you know, for quite some period of time. And I have finally just decided, you know what, random team break and be done with it. And then when you said, no, not the random team break, then that just brought me right back to, oh, man, I was thinking not doing it that way to begin with. So then I just kind of shelved it. We'll get it figured out. Somewhere along the way. Addison Russell and the Cubs relic. I may still end up doing random teams. I don't know. I just couldn't deal with it today. I just did not have the time, and I knew I wasn't completely set on it. So once again, that's how all my stuff gets shuffled back to the end. Oh, that's why it sits down there as long as it does sometimes. I've got so much of that sort of stuff I need to just get rid of. It needs to be broken. I need to move on, but I got to find the time. Not nearly enough hours in the day. I need about twice the amount of time that I have every day. But don't we all, right? I don't think that's unique to me. I might actually just sell the spots in chat. You know, we did that a few times last year, and I would just take offers or sell spots through chat at the start and at the end of the live breaks, and do that for a week or 10 days. And if not everything is sold by then, take the leftover teams and put them on eBay. I've done that before. We did that last year with some basketball stuff, so maybe it's a possibility. Anyway. Yeah, like that fantasy sports. Oh, that fantasy sports is the least of it, man. Oh, I have got so much stuff that needs to be put into breaks that I need to pair together and do some mixed breaks, mixed box breaks. I mean, oh, so much stuff. But I don't know. It seems like I have a hard enough time keeping up with all the stuff they're releasing every other minute of the day. And so I just don't have time to work through that. Part of it is creating the listing. That's the worst part of it, because that takes up a lot of time that I just don't have to spare. Kansas City Royals, Mike Moustakas. But that notwithstanding, I do have to get some of that done. Like I really, really do. It's been sitting for a long time. We have a redemption, and yeah, I'm going to make you wait if you didn't see it already. We'll have to wait on that one. Do it at the very end, because I'm always so bad that way, aren't I? But you know, it could be a good thing. You have to look at it both ways. There's Chris Archer and the Tampa Bay Rays. The good side of it is, if you haven't gotten a hit and you're coming up on the end of the break, you still have some hope, right? Because you know that redemption is there, and that could be for your team. So that's the good news side of it. Allen and Ginter Hot Peppers. Bobby, you're asking, aren't I tempted to rip open the stuff that's been sitting around for a while? Yes, and periodically I do. Like this week, what did I open? I opened some... Oh, what did I open? Some marquee basketball I opened this week for myself. I opened some optic first off the line baseball for myself. And what else? I think I opened something else too. So yeah, periodically I do just take something off the pile and say, yeah, I'm going to open that. So for sure I do. I think all breakers do. I don't think there's probably, I guess maybe if somebody breaks and they don't collect, which seems like it would be kind of weird. Like it would seem weird if somebody didn't collect and they were breaking, but I guess there are people who do that. But for me, the people I know who break all collect as well. So yeah, we're going to rip into some stuff. For sure we are. There is a nice little Ronald Acuna box topper for the Braves. I wouldn't say, Bobby, that I got anything great. I mean, I didn't get anything that I was like over the moon or in love with or anything. But of course, you know, I opened another box of marquee for myself back about a month ago. And out of that, I hit the Kyrie Irving autograph rookie card, and that was nice. And it came really quickly. It was expired, of course, the redemption. But you guys know the drill. You put it in anyway. And I guess Kyrie must have been returning a whole bunch of stuff right about that time. It was just good timing on my part. Because about 2 weeks later, boom, they shipped it out and I got it. All encased and pretty. Oh, Drift. Yeah, I see Bobby answered you already. Yeah, we did the helmet first up tonight, and it was Christian McCaffrey. Most of the time, Drift, the memorabilia will be first on any given night. Every once in a while, it might not be. I might do some memorabilia and a quick case break and then some more memorabilia, but I would say at least 9 out of 10 times the memorabilia is going to lead things off just because it's so easy, so quick and easy to break. You know, you don't want to make somebody sit and wait while you open an hour's worth of cards if they're just waiting on the memorabilia, you know. So I kind of try to time it with that sort of thing in mind. And that way everybody can just jump in and see what they want to see on the memorabilia. And then you can stick around for cards if you want. That sort of thing. Pre-game meal, baseball superstitions. Once again, it goes to same category as this. Baseball equipment, superstitions, and stadiums all go in that same bidding category. Beaches, moons, and nature go together. Wonder what McCaffrey's going to do this year. I'm just thinking about the helmet. Because, you know, I think he could have done more last year. They just maybe didn't quite have their offense set up the best to utilize him exactly as well as maybe they could have. So we'll see how he does this year. But I mean, I think he'll do well, I hope. I just saw Clint Frazier go by. That was a little controversy today, wasn't it? The Yankees announcer that talking smack about Clint Frazier and somebody else. I don't even remember who the other player was, who were both injured. And, of course, the deal with Clint Frazier is he got the concussion in preseason. I'll get it out in a minute. In spring training, he got a concussion. And he hasn't played really hardly any this year. I mean, he has, but maybe a dozen games or something. Not many. Because he keeps having all these concussion symptoms. So this announcer made some snarky remark last night about Clint Frazier not playing and one of the other Yankees not playing. And that's why they got swept and so on and so forth. And, of course, Clint took exception to it and went on to Twitter and defended himself, and then the broadcaster has to come back and say, oh, sorry, you know. I'm thinking if you're a broadcaster for the Yankees, you probably shouldn't be slamming the Yankees players, right? I mean, does that make good sense? I don't think it does. So I don't believe that particular announcer thought that through very well before he started running his mouth about people not playing and their injury history. Rhys Hoskins and the Phillies. How about it? That's who you have, right, Bobby? This is who you have tonight, right? Phillies? Isn't that what you said? I think that's what you said. And if so, there is a nice Rhys Hoskins for you. And if it's not you that has it, it's still a nice Rhys Hoskins. It would just be for somebody else, that's all. That's all I'm saying. Felt like there was, I guess not. Felt like there was one stuck to the back of that, but I guess there was not because it felt like a mini. Ah, you do have them tonight. I did remember that correctly. Because that's yes with about 20 S's behind it. Like, yes. I don't know what that was. I'm tired. Oh, goodness. You know what I mean. I'm just kind of sharing with you Bobby's enthusiasm that he is typing out for us in chat. Actually, we've had a lot of Phillies out of Immaculate Baseball, too. I'm trying to get some more Immaculate Baseball. I only had 3 cases originally because so much stuff was coming out. I mean, my goodness, it was such an expensive week. And I really did not think it was going to be that hard to pick up more. And now, of course, everybody's clamoring to get it, but I have a potential lead on some. I should know tomorrow what they're going to be asking for it. It's on its way back from the National. So basically it's all the stuff that somebody didn't sell at the National. That one, Bryce Harper and the Nationals, that might work out well for you on the home run challenge. You just have to guess the right date, which, I mean, he's been, for all of his batting troubles this year, he has been knocking it out of the park pretty good. So, not a bad one to have for home run challenge. Ryan Braun, Milwaukee Brewers. You watched, you were cringing, Bobby, you're saying, over the Immaculate Break and all the Phillies that were in it, and you were sad that you didn't have them? Is that what you're saying? I'm thinking maybe that's what you're saying. Love Stranger Things Forever is here. You know, I like that show too. I like Stranger Things. When does that come back? Not for a while, does it? I always lose track on Netflix because, you know, we all binge those things. So they come out, we watch a whole season in like 4 days, and then it doesn't come out again for a year, but it seems like about 10 years. Well, 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 we have a little Chipper Jones relic for the Braves. I like Chipper Jones. Yeah, but you know what, Bobby? All of the, not just yesterday's, but kind of all of the Immaculate seems like it's had a lot of Phillies in it, actually. So for what that's worth, there's our redemption sitting there. I don't think I'll forget it. That's why it's sitting there. But just, you know, FYI to you guys, it is still sitting there. But I don't know what they're going to do price-wise with Immaculate. Because even though they've got it left from the National, which I knew they would, but they still won't come up off of it until after the fact. So we'll see how much price how much coin they're asking for. And that will determine whether or not we open more of that. Oh, you grew up watching Chipper Jones beat up the Phillies. Well, you said crush, but my words were beat up. But yes. Yeah, Chipper's always a great hit if you have the Braves. Always fun to see a little Chipper Jones. We didn't open our box. Did we open our box topper? No, we didn't. I thought maybe I opened it and set it back up there. Well, I didn't open it yet. So I guess we better do that too. See what we can find. Actually, I think people came back from the National with a lot of stuff, but very few of them are selling it at regular price. They've all jacked the price way up on anything we would want anyway. There's Honus Wagner and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yeah, Noir is now over $2,000 a case. Yeah. I'm like, come on, man. All those guys have tons of Noir because they didn't allocate hardly any of it. They kept it all for themselves, which is terrible, but that's what they do. They keep a big chunk of it for themselves. But that's a healthy jump in price. Up to $2,000 a case is a lot. Well, over now over $2,000 a case. But just to give you kind of an idea, last week I called before they took it all to the National, and I said, I want to buy an extra case. And they said, okay, well, it's going to be $2,000, which I already, thought the price was ridiculous. But I'm thinking, okay, you know, I didn't buy enough, so I'll suck it up. I'll pay the $2,000. So I said, okay, all right, I'll pay the $2,000. Are you going to ship it today or are you going to ship it tomorrow? So he says, well, let me go ask. I'll go ask and find out if we can get it out today or if it's going to go tomorrow. Okay, fine. You know, so I'm like waiting to get the answer. He comes back and says in the span of, what was that, 3 minutes, Justin Upton for the Angels is our home run challenge. Comes back and says, oh, my boss has changed his mind. He wants 2050 now. I'm like, are you kidding me? So he quoted you the price of 2000 before you picked up the phone and called me. And now in the 3 minutes we've been on the phone, he now wants 2050. And he's like, yeah, that's what he said. So I said, well, you can't keep it. And I just bought it somewhere else. Mainly because that just made me mad. Like, how are you going to raise price by $50? You gave him the quote right before he picked the phone, and then you're going to raise it by $50 while I'm on the phone asking what day you can ship it. That's just so wrong. They're so greedy, so greedy. One of these days, I keep saying that, one of these days it's going to come back to bite them. But honestly, it never does. You know, those distributors are making zillions of dollars. But oh well. Everybody's got to get their piece, I guess, right? Their piece of the pie. Another baseball superstition. Oh, there's our bullpen car. I always like the bullpen car. As it goes to baseball equipment, but I just always like seeing that card. Oh, Bobby, you work in wholesale distribution. You know, I worked in wholesale, but in alcohol. So my situation was a little different, but I was the district manager for an alcohol distributor for many years. So I know how the wholesale game works. And of course, I know they've got room to do all kinds of things in there. But I mean, just the way some of these guys do stuff is just beyond me. I mean, I just can't, you know, like that example. You quote the price, I say yes. The rep walks back to ask, can it ship today or will it ship tomorrow? And you raise the price by $50 because he asks the question. I mean, what kind of a thing is that? That's just so wrong. But anyway. What field do you work in? You said you work in wholesale distribution. So what do you distribute wholesale, Bobby? Something cool? Something that we all are going to say, ooh, get us some of that? So you don't want to tell us because you think we're going to hit you up to get it, which we might. You never know. You never know. J.D. Martinez and the Boston Red Sox. Pool Corp. So you guys do the actual pools themselves, or you do pool chemicals or pool installations, or what? You do the actual pools. Okay. Well, yeah, you probably have pretty healthy markup in that, I would imagine. You know, in alcohol, there were so many rules about what you could and couldn't do, and you had to be a little more careful in alcohol than in some other industries I've worked in terms of keeping things going in the right direction, you know, like, because you can't, like, you're not supposed to, there's all these rules about if you comp alcohol or if you do this, if you do that. D.V. Gregorius and the Yankees. So it was a lot of legalities, and even so, of course, there were always ways to work around it. But I knew basically what our markup was in that, and it's nothing like what the markup is, for instance, with distributors in these trading cards. Their markup is crazy. They do give you quote-unquote free shipping, but unless you pay them cash, which, like, how are you going to do that unless you live right next to them and you drive it over and hand it to them? Then they charge you, 3% for your credit card and a zillion other things. Miguel Cabrera, Detroit Tigers. Another postage required. And of course, again, all those going to the non-celebrity, non-baseball mini category, which I think probably everybody knows that by this point, but people do jump in and out of the breaks along the way, so gotta remember to throw it in there ever so often. Ha! One of our weird size cards for the box topper. I know it has an actual kind of official sort of name, but I don't remember what it is. The size, I mean. All right, let's see what we have. Oh, does it tell me on there? Oh, see, it does. N43. There we go. That's the technical name of this size card. I'm going to continue to call it the weird size card because you know what? I can't fit it in any sleeve or any top loader. So as far as I'm concerned, that makes it a weird size card. I just saw a score go by. Did that say that the Rockies were 10 and the Pirates were 2, or the opposite? Did that say Rockies had 10? It just popped up and then went away really quickly. The ESPN score alerts pop up on my tablet, which is what I use to watch, to see chat and all that. And those score alerts pop up, but they go away really quickly. And I'm thinking maybe I read that wrong, but I don't know. Okay, here we go. I about forgot where I was stacking things there for a minute. Did you see that? I'm getting ready to stack our base over there on the hits. What is happening? Meanwhile, the computer's trying to go to sleep, and we cannot have that happen, because that would probably shut down the broadcast software, and then that would not make any of us very happy, would it? Especially not when we're this far in. We're in the home stretch now. Got the box and one full box and this box left. We're making good progress. I would like to have a nice long conversation with the people at Topps and Panini who design their products and say to them, please don't put so many base cards in things. Andrew McCutcheon and the Pirates. Because you know what? Most of their product these days, really, let's face it, the majority of it is probably sold to breakers. And nobody likes all this many base cards in anything. I mean, some base cards are good, but not like so many. But you have to kind of wonder how long will it be before the hobby stores, the card stores, are completely gone. Because there's so few already. And then now they have such a hard time even getting product because they're competing with the volume of, frankly, people like me, people, you know, that do breaks. And we're going through more volume than they are, so then we get more product, which means they get less product. And eventually, I think the card stores are gonna be gone from the landscape, the physical stores, unless they incorporate breaking or something as part of their deal so they can increase their volume. And I think that would really be a shame, because there's always such nice people in there most of the time when you find a local card stores, people that have owned it for years, and they always have so much knowledge about everything. And I don't know. I worry about it though. I do worry about the fact that they're slowly but surely they're all going out of business, and so far my guy's still hanging in, but he's having a harder and harder time every year getting product. And you know, he's had that store for 20 years. He's ready to retire, but no one wants to buy it. Of course, I think I shared with you all he had a heart attack back a couple months ago, or a month and a half ago, something like that. So that factors in. I'm afraid he's just going to say forget it and close it down somewhere along the way, sooner rather than later. I hope not, though. There's something kind of cool about going into a card store and just being able to pick up the pack and open it while you're standing there and that sort of thing. Josh Bell and the Pittsburgh Pirates. These are the ones we just looked at, aren't they? Yes. I had to make sure there for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, why are they sitting there? Okay, yeah, that's why. Oh, Bobby, you're saying card stores make their money on memorabilia. You know, not my guy. He doesn't have good luck with memorabilia at all. In fact, he stopped carrying it for the most part because he has such a hard time with no one really wanting it very much. So maybe some do, but my guy doesn't. Here's our rip card. It's for the Cubbies. It's numbered to 75, and it's Chris Bryant. We know that somewhere in some of these rip cards are the mini Ohtani red inks, because one came out and they promptly listed it on eBay. So we know at least some of them have that inside of it. But for the most part, the people that I know that have ripped them have not been having that kind of luck. So, of course, I guess there would only be 10 of the red ink mini Ohtanis anyway, but someone's going to have a decision to make. If you've got the Cubs, you've got to decide, rip it or keep it. Not right now, of course. I mean, when you get it. I wouldn't dare rip it even for you if you ask me to, because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. No. Send those off to you, let you rip them at your house if it's coming to you, but you do have a decision to make somewhere along the way. For the Phillies, it is Aaron Nola. I know it's not a signature, but at least we got you an Aaron Nola relic, right? So you're on the right track, Bobby. We already had your nice Rhys Hoskins, and we're just going to give you a little relic to go along with it. Oh, I see what you're saying, Bobby. The guy that you know that owns a store, he does a lot of stuff you're saying on Facebook. He does a lot of framing, and you're saying does some Facebook auctions and that sort of thing. Yeah, that my guy does not do any of that. He has very little web presence even. Like, he has a website, but it's just super, super basic with kind of a phone number and address and like that. You can't buy anything from it. There's no inventory listed on it. And he just hasn't made the investment to do any of that. Which, I mean, again, it's hard to invest a lot of money in stuff like that if you're not making that much money in the store. And then it's hard to make that much money in the store if you can't get enough product. And, you know, it's just kind of that weird, evil cycle, I think. Oh, you have an Aaron Nola autograph number 4 of 7 out of Ginter. Nice, man. Very nice. Wow, he does a Facebook auction for autographed custom jerseys and gets $200 and they sell on eBay for $60. Then why in the world don't the people on Facebook just go buy it on eBay? That doesn't even make any sense. I mean, it does. I know what you're saying, and for sure things like that happen all the time. I'm just saying, why in the world don't people shop around? But there are lots of people that don't. lots of people that just will buy the first one they come across. There is Acuna for the Braves. And there's also a whole segment of people who just don't like eBay and won't shop on eBay for whatever reason. So there's that too, figured in there. Well, dang, you need to give that guy my number, because you know I can buy a lot of those in quantity for certain players at different points of the year. I don't buy them because I don't really have a use for them. But there are several times a year when we get the messages saying, hey, you can buy, you know, Moncada autographed jerseys in bulk for this price or that price or the other price. And yeah, so cool. They get into bidding wars on Facebook Live. So he's not doing it in a break. He knows what the memorabilia is. He's just like setting up a night and saying, on this night I'm going to sell this and this and this, and then people tune in and bid against each other. That's kind of interesting. I know I need to start doing all my breaks on Facebook Live. I've known that for years, and people tell me that all the time, and honestly, it just, I don't know. Just seems like one more thing I have to do. But yeah, I do need to get that done, because there are a lot of people that break on Facebook now. You do avoid the horrendous eBay fees. And those I hate. So I would have the PayPal fees, but they're nothing compared to the eBay fees. Well, that's pretty crazy. You know, I'll have to... my guy doesn't have that kind of stuff, but I could definitely help him get it. I mean, when I get those bulk messages, but I don't think he would go on Facebook and do it anyway. My local card guy. I doubt very seriously that he would, so probably wouldn't be. Even if I did help him with it, I doubt he would do it, so... But yeah, $200 for a jersey that goes for $60 on eBay, that's pretty good right there. That's a good way to make some money. Oh, he has the exclusive rights of some rookies. Wow, that's interesting. So you mean as in like they can't sign for Leaf or Tops or anything like that? They must not have agents then, because wow, he has DJ Chark and a Steeler rookie. Huh. How about that? Interesting. Well, hey, more power to him. He's sounds like he's on the right side of things there. I like doing this, so I can't see myself ever wanting to do anything like that, because I enjoy this. I like breaking cards and seeing cards and having cards in my hand and that sort of thing. So I enjoy the memorabilia breaks. I have fun with them, but I wouldn't want to exclusively do that at the expense of not doing the cards, because I would miss the cards. So wouldn't necessarily be my preferred way to do it, but I know that I do need to move some of my breaks onto there. One of these days I will, or onto my own website, one or the other. Cleveland Indians with a little throwback relic, Jim Thome. Oh, I just put that in the wrong spot there for a second. Oh man, I forgot to say last box mojo, didn't I? Alright, well, for what's left, we have to have last box mojo coming out. Yeah, Facebook Live really did change the game a lot on Facebook. It did kind of turn it into not just that, but just that and other changes really kind of started moving Facebook more towards an e-commerce type platform. There are a lot of people that sell things and do things on there on a really regular basis now. Anthony Rendon for the Nationals. Doesn't it make you kind of wonder, though, at some point in time, are we just going to wake up one day and all the stores, other than like grocery stores and gas stations and pharmacies, all the other stores are going to be gone and everything's going to be online? Just one day it'll be like, oh yeah, no, you can't go buy your clothes at the mall anymore. You got to order them online. Oh, James Washington. Okay. Well, how does he have the exclusive rights for James Washington? Because James Washington signs for everybody. I mean, I shouldn't say everybody, but I mean, he signs for Panini, and I believe he signs for Leaf, I think, didn't he? I think he did sign for Leaf. So, I don't know how that worked. But anyway, it's cool. James Washington is a good player to have on the Steelers rookie side of things. You guys know I'm a little partial to Jalen Samuels, but I think that James Washington's going to be quite good by all accounts. Molina and the Cardinals. And I don't really know a lot about DJ Chark. I haven't watched DJ Chark play enough to tell you. I don't really have an opinion about him one way or another. But I'm assuming it sounds like your buddy knows exactly what he's doing. So if he chose those two, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he vetted them well first. Freddie Freeman and the Atlanta Braves. So he probably knows that they're going to be good. So we'll take his word for it. Oh, you're saying he does their bookings. I see. Like if they're going to sign at collectible shows and special events and that sort of thing. I gotcha. Okay, well that makes good sense. Well, that's cool. And then I'm sure he can also get a lot of stuff signed for himself along the way too. So that's a win-win all the way around. Athletes make some money, and one less thing they have to worry about. And your friend makes a little money and has some fun. Our redemption is Austin Meadows. Austin Meadows is going to be a Pirate, and of course, he's been traded, but he's going to be on this checklist as a Pirate, I'm quite sure. Allen and Ginter framed mini autograph, and we will go right now to the checklist so that we can verify it and get it all nice and official for us here. What am I opening? Allen and Ginter. Why does that say Topps Ginter X? What is that? What is Topps Ginter X? Anybody? Why do I just see that on top of the checklist? I don't even know what that is. That's kind of weird. All right. Austin Meadows is who we are looking for. And we got to scroll for a minute to get to his category here. Those were mini cloth. No, I don't want mini cloth. Mini baseball autograph cards. That's what we want. There is Austin Meadows, and you can see, of course, he is a Pittsburgh Pirate as we expected. So it is time for us to recap our Allen and Ginter and look at all the fun stuff that we found here. So we'll do a quick buzz through here. Our home run challenge: Braves, Pirates, Angels, Nationals, Royals, and Rays. Then our hits: the redemption for Austin Meadows and the Pirates. Cardinals, Nationals, Indians, Phillies, Rip Card for the Cubbies, Pirates, Tigers, Yankees, Red Sox, Braves, Brewers. Nice Phillies, Rhys Hoskins. Chris Archer and the Rays, the Cubbies with Addison Russell, Joey Votto and the Cincinnati Reds, another Milwaukee Brewer, and Tommy Pham for the Cardinals. And then, of course, loads of inserts and minis and things off to the side that we're not going to recap all that again. But what I will do is put up the spreadsheet information one final time for anyone who could have missed it earlier, if you weren't tuned in, or maybe you've kind of scrolled ahead to this point in time if you happen to be watching it as a recap. So once again, anticipating shipping for the helmet to be on Monday. That was our free shipping break. And for our paid shipping breaks of Elements and Allen and Genter, hoping to get those out the door on Saturday. If I can get them out sooner, I will. Occasionally something goes off the rails and it could slide a day later, which would make it Monday if that were to happen, since there's no mail on Sunday. And yeah, consolation cards usually ship out with the next package. If you were in the free shipping break, if you were in Elements and you got skunked, it would ship with the rest of the break since it's a paid break. And taking a look at the auctions that are coming up over the next 5 days, this is the stuff that's already up and running on eBay. Note that we are starting early tomorrow night at 9:30 instead of 10. We'll do a half case of Leaf autographed football jerseys, a full case of Topps Clearly Authentic Baseball, and a third of a case of Donruss football. Sounds like it's not a lot, because a third of a case sounds like, right, a little bit of something. It is a lot of something. There will be between 14 and 1,500 cards in that break. It's a 6-box break, and it's, by all rights, should be a half case break, except Panini's stupid and made it an 18-box case. On Thursday, we will open Elements again, Clearly Authentic again, and a full case of Chrome Baseball. On Friday, it'll be a TriStar Game Day Greats autographed football jersey. Leaf Flash football, if it shows up, guys. I mean, I listed this because the last information I had said this was coming on Friday, but yet I haven't seen tracking, so I'm a little nervous. But if it doesn't show up, of course, we'll just reschedule the break for the day that it does show up, but obviously the auction will run as it is. Ditto for Saturday, and the Leaf Flash on there as well. And then certified will break on Friday night as well, certified football. So on Saturday, we'll do another half case of Leaf jerseys, Leaf Flash, second case, provided it shows up like we hope it does, a full case of Noir basketball, and another break of Donruss football on Sunday, which will be a 9:30 start time. It will be Elements again, Archives Signature Series Active Player Edition full case, and we'll do some more Allen and Genter on Sunday. So that's what we look like for the days ahead. And I think that's it for tonight, right? I think I've got us all wrapped up and ready to go. So on that note, I'm going to head off for tonight. And of course, I'll be back at it tomorrow night. Hopefully I will see some or many or most of you again then. So until next time, take care now. Bye-bye.